Hello and welcome back. It's been a minute. Thanks for joining us. Today I want to tell you about a tasty change to a unit in our Necron Codex. It got the biggest points cut in the June update from any unit in our book. That's right, I'm talking about Illuminor Szeras. So today we're going to run through why I think he's so good, what he really brings to the table, and the best detachment for him, because I think there's one particular build in one detachment where it absolutely shines. So let's dive into it. So what's changed? Well, Illuminor Szeras has dropped from 175 points to 165 points. And I've no idea why, because I believed it was a bargain at 175 points, and I think a few of you would agree with me. It was very good value at that number already. So, I mean, a cynic might think that, well, maybe GW's got loads of boxes in the warehouse that it needs to sell, and that's why they've given him a points cut. And I am a cynic, as you know, regular viewers will know. And so I checked, and he isn't. He's actually out of stock on the website. So this is purely a gameplay decision, and I think we should enjoy it while it lasts, because if I'm right, I don't think it's going to last for very long. Now, some local gaming stores do still have him in stock, but if I'm right about this unit being in demand, then you are going to have to be quick, because he will sell out quicker than a scarab scuttles up a guardsman's leg. That said, let's have a look at why we think he's so good, and there's one build in one detachment in particular that where I think he is absolutely a must-take, so we'll get into that as well. So why is Illuminor Szeras so good? Well, he's a cut-price Catan, basically. He's got a 2+ save, a 4+ invuln, and a 4-up feel no pain. He's got toughness 8, and 9 wounds, so he is a real tanky unit. He's very difficult to shift. He's also got the lone operative keyword if he's within 3 inches of a friendly Necron's unit. So all that wrapped up together makes him difficult for your opponent to deal with him, which is great. On top of that, he has the Cryptek keyword, so he gives Scarabs objective control, and he has the infantry keyword, so you don't need to worry about how you're moving him around terrain. He can walk through buildings, which makes him really versatile too. So let's take a deeper dive into his data sheet, and then we'll talk a little bit more about where we think we can deploy him the best. So looking at his stat block, he's got a movement of 8 inches, a toughness of 8, 2-up save and a 4-up invuln, 9 wounds, a leadership of 6+, and an OC of 3. All pretty straightforward, but it's good. Keywords wise, nothing to no concerns here at all really. He's got the Necron's keyword, he's got infantry, character, Illuminor Szeras. He's also an epic hero, so you can't give him enhancements. And he has the Cryptek keyword, as we mentioned before. Weapons-wise, his main weapon is his Eldritch Lance. It's got a range of 36 inches for shooting. He gets 3 attacks hitting on 3s. It's strength 9, AP 3, damage 3. So it's pretty good, and if, like me, you have trouble remembering lines on datasheets, you'll be very pleased with its melee profile, because it's virtually the same. He does get 4 attacks here instead of 3. It's hitting on 3s again, strength 9, AP 3, damage 3. Lovely. However, he does also get some extra attacks. His impaling legs. Again, he gets 4 attacks here hitting on 3s. These are strength 6, AP 1, and damage 1. Nice to get rid of any chaff if he's getting tied up by those little units, you know? And as with a lot of our characters, where he starts to get really interesting is his abilities. Obviously, he's got reanimation protocols, so in your command phase, he regains D3 lost wounds. He has that 4-up feel no pain I mentioned before. And then he has 3 key abilities. The first one is Illuminor, which is the one where, while he is within 3 inches of a friendly Necron's unit, he gains a lone op ability. Very, very powerful in this edition. For those of you who played older editions, this is basically the old Lookout Sir rule from 9th. The second ability is called Mechanical Augmentation, and this is an aura. And while he is within 3 inches of a friendly Necron's battle line unit, he gives that unit -1 AP to incoming attacks and +1 AP to their outgoing attacks. So all of a sudden we've got warriors hitting on AP1 in melee, and if they're using the shorter range guns, they are AP2 for shooting. That's starting to get interesting. And for attacks coming in, it's basically permanent armor of contempt. This is really, really good. Very, very, very strong. His third and final ability actually enhances that second one. And this is called the Atomic Energy Manipulator. And basically what happens is, at the end of the fight phase, if Szeras has killed an enemy model, not destroyed a unit, just one model, then he is allowed to extend the range of that aura by 3 inches. And you can do that in successive fight phases up to a maximum of 12 inches. So every time he kills a model, grows by 3 inches up to 12 inches maximum. That's massive. That can mean that you can be virtually, you could be in one side of the board, and you could still be buffing a unit that's in the other half of the board. That's really, really good. So how should we play him? Well, I've hinted a little bit about some of the ways to play him already. I was going to refer to him again as like a dollar store Catan or a pound shop Catan. And I think that's a bit disparaging. What I mean really is he does what a Catan does, but just, slightly reduced. So he is tanky, but not quite as tanky as a Catan. He's punchy, but not as punchy as a Catan. I personally will always be taking him with Scarabs because that gives him that lone op and it gives the Scarabs the OC. So you can see then you've got a unit for 205 points that can run around the board, can't get shot unless your enemy's within 12 inches, can contest objectives, can do actions, etc., etc. Secondly, if you are taking those battle line units, then he is brilliant, as we mentioned, for that incoming and outgoing AP. And for that reason, there is one build in a particular detachment where he absolutely shines, and let's get into that. I am, of course, talking about the Warrior Brick build in Awakened Dynasty, because he's giving them warriors that tasty AP buff, incoming and outgoing. He can also, because he's got to be nearby the warriors to buff them, he can then act as a countercharge threat. So if something nasty charges the warriors, which is more like when than if, isn't it? When something charges the warriors, he can then, perhaps he can heroically intervene, or you can charge in your turn, but he can help that warrior brick to withstand that assault, which is really, really important. And even better than that, in Awakened Dynasty, you can resurrect him for 1 CP. So when your opponent has killed him, for 1 CP, Protocol of the Eternal Revenant, standing back up out of engagement range with half his wounds, the look on your opponent's face when you bring this guy back after they've spent ages trying to deal with him, poured all those resources into killing him, and back he comes and does it all again. It's brilliant. So yeah, check out, there's going to be a full video on the Warrior Brick build, including Szeras as an option in that, so watch out for that, it's coming soon. But yeah, in the meantime, if you're not running him in the Warrior Brick, definitely consider it. Okay, that pretty much wraps it up. Before we move on now, I wanted to mention one more thing, which is if you are relatively new to 40k or new to Necrons, he is quite a fiddly model to build. He's not the worst in our codex by some distance, but he does require a lot of patience and check the instructions twice. Confession time, I actually messed him up the first time I built him, so I guess what I'm saying is do better than me, which shouldn't be difficult, but there you go. That's I've set the bar low, so see if you can do better. Also, having watched this video, let me know in the comments how you feel now about Illuminor Szeras. If you haven't been running him, are you going to give him a try? If you have been running him, are there other ways that I've missed that you use him which you think would be beneficial for other Necron players? Let's share that information and help them all get better. And lastly, on his points, is he now at the right points level, or do you agree with me? Is he undercosted and he's probably going to go back up? And as always, please keep liking, please keep sharing, and if you haven't done already, drop the channel a sub, it'd be great. And last but not least, if you are a YouTube member or a Patreon who's stuck with us during this transition or stuck with me during this transition, thank you. It's really appreciated. I can't thank you enough for that. There's going to be more information about what's going on the channel coming up soon. But in the meantime, stay tuned for more Necron videos. Thank you.